Hi everybody, Dave Stevens here for Ability Media, and a year ago I was on this very runway as a supermodel. Well, I'm not so super this year, but we have a great show for you tonight. Ability Media is taking you behind the scenes of Runway of Dreams. It's an extravaganza like you've never seen before, a fashion show for people with disabilities. We have great coverage lined up for you tonight. In fact, let me send you out to our correspondent, Carly McManus, out on the red carpet, getting some great interviews. Carly?
Thanks, Dave. We're here from New York Fashion Week on the red carpet where we are getting tons of interviews, lots of content, and we just had the opportunity to speak to Mindy's son, Oliver, the face behind this whole organization where she started it all.
I think the whole world is going to change for the better. I mean, people with disabilities are the largest minority on the planet, and up until now, I don't think we've been considered. And I think from here and on out, and we will be seen.
The inspiration is your son, and what is the continued inspiration as you overcome all of the obstacles you've done to get us this far?
Everybody in this room is my inspiration, especially all the models that were on the runway. They need to be seen, they need to be dressed. The world needs to know that they have style and want to look like everybody else. That's really what the underlining mission of Runway of Dreams is that everybody deserves to feel good, to feel confident in what they wear and how they present themselves to the world. I'm sure you saw my own son on that runway, and he has his own vibe, and we let it go because this is what makes him feel a part of this world.
I think we've reached a lot of people already, but there's a whole world waiting out there to see the beauty of people with disabilities.
Never will you see Target and Kohl's and JCPenney, Tommy, everybody sharing a runway. And that really shows that the industry is understanding that this isn't about brands, this isn't about this is about doing this together and creating a new category of adaptive.
Never before did I really feel considered as like a human being and someone that wanted to be interviewed or photo shot or, like I feel loved.
When I modified the very first pair of jeans for my son Oliver, he was 8 years old. And he said, "Mom, I want to be able to wear jeans like everybody else gets to wear in school." We have created a category, no different than plus size or petite. We are all in this room to celebrate. Welcome to the next category, everybody. It's adaptive.
So much talent, so many amazing models, and so many adaptive clothing options here. And quite honestly, the only place here at New York Fashion Week where there is so many brands on stage at one time. There's so many opportunities here tonight.
So when I first started it, it was for people with lymphedema because I created it for myself. Yeah. It was really a lifesaver for me, but I've since learned that there are so many people that have asymmetrical disabilities or unilateral disabilities that this product really speaks to. So our model today at Runway of Dreams is Jalen. She's a unilateral amputee, and she looks fantastic in her one-leg leggings. She's wearing the Haley. We are so pumped to have her be a part of our world.
A customer called in, and she was returning a pair of shoes she bought for her grandson, and she couldn't find something for him, and she shared that her grandson has autism and he couldn't tie laces. And that one call really sparked the idea behind this entire population, now 61 million, that we are possibly not serving. So that really, that customer calling in was the one that sparked the whole idea, and that was back in 2014.
Maggie English, the creator of Down the Hatch Patch, shows us the significance of her product and how it helped her daughter.
I really want to get this out there, and I want to help people maintain their dignity while feeding. It's an iron-on patch that can go onto clothing so that you can open it, attach your feeding accessory, close it again so that the G-tube isn't visible while you're feeding in public, or for overnight feeds you don't have to undo their pajamas. It's just a way of giving them some privacy and a little respect in public or in school.
One of our major purposes is to serve families, and those families come in all sizes and shapes, and we also recognize that there's people who have a need for stylish clothes and outfit solutions that all of us have options to. They just have so many limited options. And so the combination of serving families and being able to serve a need is at the core of who we are.
So going out into the world wearing something that I don't feel comfortable in wasn't something that I wanted to be doing on a regular basis. I wanted to thrive in my life. When you have a disability, there aren't very many choices out there in the world for you. You have your options, and that's what you get to choose from, but you don't get to make any choices that are just for you. So when you wake up in the morning, your morning routine is X, Y, and Z. That's what you have to do for your condition. That's what you need to do to get up and out. That's what needs to happen. But you don't get to make anything that's a choice that's fun. And you don't get to make anything that's colorful, really. You get to make the choices that are in front of you. And so the idea that there are many different patterns, one that you can go onto the site and choose from that expresses yourself in that pattern, it's like finding the perfect pair of jeans or the absolute perfect coat that you wear every single day that you get excited about because you love it. And that's why I have so many different patterns that are on the site. That's why I create those choices for people that don't have the choices so that they can feel like they're having fun with something when they don't normally have the option to.
This is such a magical night. We are outside the beautiful skyline here at the Glass House in downtown New York City. All the action is inside, and again, Carly McManus has been working hard with all of our other workers from Ability Media, getting great stories and great interviews. So let's take you behind the scenes and check out what went into tonight's special event.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was told from the day I was born that I wasn't going to be able to do anything. I'm sure you heard all this. And from a young age, I decided to not listen to anybody, and I decided I'm going to do whatever I want to do, and those things happen to be live life. So I have 2 kids, I'm married, I have a fantastic job. Nobody's going to work for me, nobody's paying my bills, nor do I want them to. So I have to push and get through, and I mentor kids that are born like me, so I have a job to do. I get to show those kids that they can do anything they want.
And Mindy puts this together. It's such a beautiful event with just amazing models. They are supermodels because everybody here, you know, we're already being stared at, so we might as well put on a show. And what a heck of a show Mindy puts on.
Yeah, absolutely. I always say, I mean, people stare at me because I'm just good looking. That's why, right? But you know, that happens every day. And like you said, I always say, you don't have to have superpowers to be a superhero. You can get through it. I have a saying, it's don't be your own speed bump, because the only thing in life that can stop you or slow you down is yourself.
I'm what's called a physiatrist, and we work with people with disabilities, whether that's short-term or long-term disabilities. We help people with their physical function. So I work regularly with people with spinal cord injuries, amputations, traumatic brain injuries, things like that. And I've been friends with Logan Aldridge, who's the host of this. We work together in adaptive fitness. And I've known him for quite some time, and he invited me to this, and this has been so amazing.
It is surreal to be here. It's an honor and privilege in so many ways. My background is in adaptive fitness, creating accessible and inclusive solutions for people in the fitness space. That's what brought me to New York from North Carolina. And being here, learning about New York Fashion Week, what goes on, and then discovering Runway of Dreams and everything that Mindy has been doing to put on this event for so many years. And it feels full circle for myself because so much of my advocacy and passion is in getting people with disabilities moving, getting them access to fitness and empowered by their ability to move their bodies in whichever way they can. And here we are in the full circle aspect of that, showing how people are represented in their bodies and being proud and empowered of their bodies here on the runway. So it's just amazing. I'm so honored to be here. Can't believe I get to host it.
Well, as they've been saying tonight, which is something that's really interesting, is that this category of clothing is just like petite, just like plus size clothing. It's another group of people who are in need of clothing that fits them well and that serves them and helps them be independent. So for someone with a disability, the ability to clothe themselves is actually something that's a gateway to independence and independent living. So it's really important to think about those kind of things. Clothes can make you feel better, but also can give you access to things in life that you might not otherwise have.
I think honestly, just be self-aware. Like when you go into Target and you see models in wheelchairs, don't think that's different, you know? And it's really about education. Again, like Mindy was saying, plus size, petite, all those categories have special needs within them. I think by far this is one of the most important shows because it shows people of all different abilities, and I think the environment and the energy of loving
here is so strong, and just the ability to all come together over the language of fashion is very cool.
What Mindy's doing is really giving back that empowerment, that sense of, self-confidence, self-esteem within the models, and she's showcasing to the world our abilities. You gotta remember, 20% of the population is disabled. That's a pretty big that's a pretty big number, about 20% of the world. So the world needs to know what we're capable of doing. The world needs to know that we exist. We live in an ableist society, so typically people view individuals with disabilities as less than or not capable of. And I'm a Team USA powerlifter. I'm capable of opening any door. Whatever challenge is in front of me, I could make it work. So I adapt to all my surroundings. I feel like I'm an able-bodied person. I mean, this chair is just a chariot towards my independence.
It was an amazing night, Carly. This is my second one of these, and without the masks and seeing all the smiling faces of everybody, I mean, what an amazing night. I mean, what did you take away from this experience?
I mean, it's been a long night, but I am so happy that I was able to come. I learned so much, and one of the main things I learned was how many challenges people with different disabilities face in their clothing choices every day on a day-to-day basis. And I didn't realize how big of a problem it was until I came here and I heard these stories firsthand. So it's really taught me and educated me on their challenges and how we can help and how we can change and help them.
And it's so important for those of us that do have those challenges to try to look as normal as possible to fit in. But I think the best thing that Mindy gives these kids and these models and everybody here is it gives them confidence to go out and not feel like I have a disability.
Yeah, I think that's super important. And I was talking to Deborah earlier, and she was saying I wanted to feel like myself, and I wasn't able to feel like myself when I was wearing these black cover-ups, these black cover-ups, and she really wanted to feel like herself, and she was able to do that, and she molded her brand to help people with different disabilities and not just people with lymphedema. So I think that's important because people within the disability community are helping each other, and I think that's really cool as well.
Ability Media taking you behind the scenes tonight at the Runway of Dreams Fashion Extravaganza. If I'm smiling all night, that's because wait till you see the smiling faces if you actually watch the telecast of the actual Runway of Dreams. But for everybody that was a part of this tonight, for Mindy Shire and everybody a part of Runway of Dreams, I'm Dave Stevens. Don't forget to follow Ability Media on all social media platforms. We continue to try to share these stories of people that overcome so much. So for Carly, myself, and everybody here, that's a wrap. Ability Media at Runway of Dreams.